invitation arrived by email. It was for an annual tea held every spring to recognize the leaders of a volunteer organization I belonged to. I had been to many other gatherings of volunteers before, so when the day rolled around, I wore what I always wear: my Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, $8 at Costco, a long-sleeve cotton t-shirt, and gray, non-fluorescent running shoes. The moment I walked in, I wanted to flee. Across the room was a woman in a Chanel suit and leather pumps. Next to her, a woman in a pencil skirt and a crepe blouse. And next to her, a woman in a swirling A-line dress with big, bright flowers. But by then, I'd been spotted. It was too late to run. So I darted over to a sofa and sat down behind a large wooden coffee table. A friend sat down next to me, looking smashing in black twill pants and a Chinese quilted jacket. "You look amazing," I said glumly. "I am so underdressed." Then I added, perhaps a bit too defensively, "But I just can't stand to shop." "Oh, you look fine," she reassured me. Then she added in the next breath, "Have you ever tried a personal shopper? You can do it online now." I wanted to say that I had, and that there had even been a time when I wasn't quite so clueless about clothes. That was in the fall of 1968, when I went off to boarding school with a trunk full of outfits picked out by my mother: pleated skirts, matching sweaters, shirtwaist dresses, tailored blouses. I quickly learned that wasn't what the cool kids were wearing, or at least the kids I thought were cool. The boys had on army jackets, flannel shirts, and ripped and faded jeans. The girls did too, and also woven ponchos, paisley dresses, and Mexican peasant shirts. That Christmas, I went to the store where my brother shopped for clothes, and I bought myself men's corduroys, denim work shirts, and tan construction boots. And that was my outfit for the next 8 years. After college, I gravitated to jobs where I didn't have to get dressed up. I slung tacos, I went to grad school, I became a reporter. By then, it was the 80s. The People's Revolution was over. Women's shoulder pads were all the rage. But after years of dressing like a hippie, my fashion sense had withered, so I did turn to a personal shopper for help, and she picked out great clothes, but they just weren't me. Finally, when I moved to New York, things got a little easier. I realized the secret was black. Black pants, black tops, black blazers, black shoes, and every now and then, a splash of gray. Over the years, I managed to avoid any major faux pas until I started to volunteer with a group of women who could make the mannequins at Bergdorf's look bad. The way I survived that tea was by not getting up from the sofa. And when the presentations were over, I slunk out the door. Back home, I vowed to reform. I began rummaging through my closet just to see what was there. And that's when I came across a bag of my mother's old clothing. Now there was a woman who could dress for a spring tea. I found her St. John's knit suit with shiny gold buttons, a black and white houndstooth skirt and jacket with a reversible tan lining, cashmere sweaters, and lined woolen pants. For more than a year after she died, I'd held on to those garments, thinking that someday I might grow up and be able to claim them as my own. Now I knew it wasn't going to happen. 50 years earlier, I'd chosen a different wardrobe and a different lifestyle. So I tossed the clothes back into the bag and marched out the door to Goodwill.